So thank you so much for sharing this moment with me and talking about the experience, the COVID-19 vaccine journey experiment. We're all just kind of like figuring out, should I take it? Should I not take the vaccine? Mine is on Wednesday. You've already took the plunge and done it. How do you feel now? How many days post second
Let's see.
vaccine?
I got my second Pfizer. So I got the Pfizer one. I got the
Okay.
second dose last Saturday. So this is day 8 after the second dose. And I feel great. I was back in the gym. I'm lifting. I feel safe. I feel like I could be around people. Now I'm still double masking. There's no games to be played because I have responsibilities. I have a wife, 2 daughters, 2 sets of parents with my wife and I up the street. We playing no games, and almost everyone in our family is vaccinated. Matter of fact, Tanika, not only me, almost everyone in our family is vaccinated. We play no games.
Really, that's amazing because I hear a lot of people. Well, a husband may have been vaccinated, but the wife is not. And so, how do you feel about if some family members are vaccinated and others aren't? How?
Well, I mean, the rules here in Georgia are so weird. I mean, so like if you're a doctor, you can get vaccinated. If you are firefighter, you can get vaccinated. Now, if you're a teacher, you can get vaccinated. But what if you're not a teacher or a doctor or your turn is not, you haven't gotten your turn, you haven't gotten lucky. Because a lot of people were able to use their connections, I'm going to be honest, to get a vaccine. I'm not mad at them because who's going to wait to die? I mean, bump Governor Kemp. I mean, I don't, the rules are stupid to me. I get 65 and older, but we should have had enough, but I'm
Right.
not going to get into that. But if they were going, and they were throwing out doses at first because people weren't getting them, why throw out a dose when it can go in your arm? And so pharmacists were calling people first on the wait list. So because we have a lot of educators in my family, a lot of doctors in my family, and a lot of people who are over 65, when we start talking about my parents and older older cousins, we were able to get vaccinated because we want to see each other again. We want to be safe and we don't want anyone to pass. And we've been lucky enough to have no one in our family pass due to COVID. And we want to keep it that way.
Right. That's good. No one in my family has passed from COVID as well, but
That is
we
a
took it
blessing.
seriously. We took it seriously.
Heck
And I
yeah.
think I think that some people are being very reckless right now. And just because some time has passed, I think that people think that we're in the clear.
Yeah,
And
and
we
and
still have to be careful.
that's why I'm glad we're doing this, because as a psychologist, I see people who have COVID every day. I'd say maybe 40% of my caseload has had COVID. They've buried their mothers, they've buried their fathers. I'm also a minister. So we funeralize. So if you, I just did a workshop for a funeral home last week, as a matter of fact, last Sunday, and they're stressed out because they say within the Black community, burials are up 35%. And so what happens is when you see people not wearing a mask, refusing to get vaccinated, half wearing a mask, it's offensive to people who have lost loved ones because they're like, this is what killed my family member. Someone giving it to them and being reckless and treating this like we don't care about having close to 600,000 deaths due to COVID. And you're still talking about a conspiracy theory when I know my mom and dad, brother and sister, son and daughter were doing well before they pass. So it is extremely important that we realize this is real. And if you just ask your neighbors, you'll find out that everyone's been affected.
Hmm. Well, you know what? I live in a neighborhood where they were really antsy about trying to have a little block party. And I was like, okay, have your little block party. And I didn't want to be the outsider in that block party. So I showed up and I had my mask on. It was still chilly outside. So I had my hood on and I'm like
Uh-huh.
really trying to I walk up and not a soul has a mask on. And
No.
I'm like, hold on, wait. I'm gonna see how long I can be cordial. But I'm about to leave because y'all are being real reckless.
Yeah.
What
Well,
y'all trying to do? Sell my house? Like get my
well,
house on the
well,
market?
Here's the thing. There's this thing called COVID fatigue, where people are tired of quarantining due to COVID, and so they feel like, all right, I'm going to come out and we're going to have community, and outside we should be safe, not knowing that anywhere you talk to someone face to face without a mask is contaminating you. And there are a lot of people who had that misinformation who caught COVID. And then there's another myth that if you caught COVID once, if I caught it once, I can't catch it again. Myth, you can have it 2 times. We
Right.
know a lot of people, and they said the second time is worse. So, and then, the political stuff, for the first time, we had Republicans try to divide, you know, us in saying that COVID wasn't real. But you see each time, Tanika, and I want to make this point for anyone watching, every time, and I'm including myself as a scientist, every time we've been right, every time the politicians have been wrong. And so when people start listening to scientists and taking their health, you should listen to your doctor. You should not listen to your local politician about your health.
Oh, definitely. You're operating outside of your lane. Like, I need
The
to go
the
to the expert.
arrogance, the
Yeah.
lack of character, and to me, it's really devilish. I mean, you're basically saying I want people to die by being irresponsible when they know the numbers. They just want to get reelected.
Now, speaking of physicians, do you advise going to consult with your healthcare physician prior to getting the vaccine? Because some people are like, well, if it's available to me, I'm just going to do it. Do you think that it's
Yeah,
advisable
yeah, because
to get a
there,
checkup maybe?
yeah, there's some people that is counter indicated, right? There's certain conditions they say you shouldn't get it. And I think for most people do trust their doctors. So if you're on the fence about whether to get the vaccine, call your primary care physician so that you understand what is happening. Tanika, I can't tell you how many people I've talked to. They were like, "Oh, you know what? This is a conspiracy theory. I don't trust it." And I said, "All right, call your doctor. And if he or she gives you the blessing not to get it, so be it." Tanika, they call back and they say, "I signed up ASAP. I asked him or her, put it in my arm right now. I did not know the numbers. I did not know that I was high risk with asthma. Are they a high risk with a respiratory problem, a high risk with with obesity, of knowing that I may not make it if I catch COVID. My kids may be able to survive it. Younger people who are in shape may be able to survive it, but even they pass. That's a myth. But having a health condition and being older, they were like, I need that shot like I need air."
Yeah. Yeah, I made sure that a couple of weeks ago, had a phone consult with my primary care physician just to make sure that, although I think that I'm pretty healthy, I think I'm okay. I don't have any
Right.
pre-existing conditions. So I was like, let me just be sure. This is way too new. And I'm one of the younger ones that's getting it because I'm under 40. So I'm like, let me go ahead
Yeah.
and
COVID doesn't care. So that's a myth that we tell ourselves. If I'm healthy, I can't catch COVID, or if I catch COVID, I'll be fine. And what we know is it's random. I'll give you an example. Are you familiar with Freddie Freeman? Freddie Freeman is the MVP of the National Baseball, Major League Baseball. He plays for the Atlanta Braves. He
okay.
got COVID and was out. He said it was the worst thing in his life. Karl Anthony Towns, who plays for the Minnesota Timberwolves, has lost 7 family members, including his mom, to COVID. So he's saying that he could barely walk. If it weren't for the NBA doctors, he says he would not have made it. And so what we know is that it hits people randomly. Now, Freddie Freeman, the MVP of Major League Baseball, the best player, and Karl Anthony Towns, top tier basketball player, the most elite athletes on the planet, still went down with COVID. Jason Tatum said he still hasn't recovered, still hasn't gotten his man back. And we have a friend who's a physician who was, her name is Dr. Michelle Reed. She's known as the Fit Doc. All right. She's running marathons before this. She was any fitness challenge. Sister girl was on it. She caught COVID, working with patients, and now she can't run more than 2 miles without taking an asthma pump.
Wow.
So she has the long haul effect. So what I'm saying is that these are the stories that are not told. These are people that are extremely healthy. These are people that were vegan. These are people that were taking sea moss, vitamin D, you name it. They were zinc, and they still caught COVID because they somehow got exposed. And what we know is that people respond to it randomly. Why take that chance?
I know, right? Some people are just, I think that people like to gamble. Like, Vegas is not fully open in the casino, so let me just gamble with my health. Like, I just
that's
want to
cool.
gamble.
And that's cool with your health.
Yes.
But you're trying to kill me. So look at it. So you don't wear a mask. You gamble. You give it to your kids are asymptomatic, your kids go to school with my kids, they're asymptomatic, they come home to me, I get it, I go see my mom, she gets it, my mom sees, my dad, her husband, he gets it, they go see family members, and so it's spread by one person who did not have the facts, who was completely reckless and did not care about other people's lives. And that's just, I know it's affecting the rest of the world, but that's a very American thing where we just don't care about other people's lives. And that to me is offensive. And it goes against Christian principles of love thy neighbor.
Definitely. You're definitely right when you
You
say
don't have a
that.
right to kill me.
Right.
Kill yourself.
That is true.
Stay in the house.
But some people, they just don't see it that way. And then it's about to heat up again. Summertime is coming. People they're already getting antsy. I gotta have a little barbecue, birthday parties. Like, you can have all of that.
We're in Atlanta.
No, thank you.
We're in Atlanta, Georgia. We just hosted All-Star Weekend. You saw the pictures on your Instagram of people being out at the club where the promoters are pretty much the devil right now. They know the numbers. They know they're not following any safety standards. And they feel like if people want to come and not wear their masks and want to party and drink and talk and smoke, blow hookah in each other's face, which is the craziest thing to me in the world with COVID, all right? It's like, you're not thinking. If there's anything you shouldn't be doing is blowing and sharing a hookah, with other people. But they feel like, hey, let me get paid. If you die, you die. But that's Atlanta, where for whatever reason, our governor lets people do what they want to do to their own detriment.
Right. That's so unfortunate. It's really unfortunate.
That's why you have to get the vaccine, because the government not gonna help us.
Right. They're just gonna keep opening things up and allowing it to happen. And as long as it's open, people are going to have access, and then they're just going to say, well, it is what it is. It's open. Right. I have access to it, and so I'm going to do it. So that's what's up. So I think that I'm ready. Because,
okay.
So any precautions that I should take prior to, should I rub something on my arm?
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real, because my main thing in getting it was I saw too many people die. I did not want to expose my family. I want to be healthy. I had read the studies where they were opening up. You saw Texas and Mississippi are going to be open as of March 15th with no mask mandate. And only 8% of those states are fully vaccinated. So that means 92% of the people are going to be unvaccinated.
Right.
Maybe 90, maybe 85 by that time with no mask. Do you know the COVID is going to be rampant? Mm-hmm. No. And I know Georgia, when it comes to something bad, is not far behind anything that's bad, Right. So I wanted to protect myself regardless of what was going on. So I decided to talk to my doctors, get educated, find out what the risks were. And then I'm gonna be honest. Want to be honest with you?
Definitely.
I saw white people. Let me be honest. I saw white people fighting for this vaccine. Fighting. When I went to go get my shot, it was 80% Caucasian brothers and sisters, okay, and because they don't have this misinformation. They're like, we're trying to live,
right?
All right. We know it's a limited supply of vaccine, and if Black folks don't want to get it, get out the way with your ignorance. We get it. Y'all don't trust the government, but put that shot in my arm, because we know y'all dying at 3.5 times the rate that we are. And we're not trying to suffer that. So when I saw them get the shot, and I saw that the entire world was getting the shot, not just America, the entire world, I said, the entire world can't be wrong.
Right.
So first shot did not hurt. No. Shot did not hurt. For those of you that's afraid of shots, you don't even feel it. They tell you to look away, or they say, hey, you roll your sleeve up, bam, it's in there. Literally, it takes 1 second to get your shot. They don't hold it in there. They don't roll it around. It's pow, in and out. You don't feel it at all, okay? They put a little Band-Aid on it. There was no blood. They tell you to sit around 15 minutes to make sure you're not dizzy. I had no dizziness. I had no symptoms. The only thing I had was that night, my arm was sore. So make sure you get it in the arm you do not sleep on. So my arm was sore. And I did have a bit of an earache for the first time. So I had an earache for like maybe 10 minutes, and it went away. My wife her arm itched, and that was her only symptom. My parents, my mom and dad had a sore arm the first time. That was it. Now the second time, okay, I'll have to be real with y'all. The second time, everyone I know, except people who are older, it's interesting. Older people have less side effects than we do. I don't know why that is. You ask about it. My parents, my mom said her arm was a little sore and she was sleepy. All right, so she was drowsy and she went to sleep for the first time on time in her life because she stays up, Tanika, all day. All right, my dad, no symptoms. When I got it, I had an earache about 2 hours afterwards. I took a little Tylenol. My arm was sore. I had muscle aches. I was tired than a mug. I am always high energy. I was tired. Now I was still able to speak. I still had a presentation. It's just like getting through it when you're tired. And then when I went to bed, I did sweat out a shirt. All
Oh.
right, so I'm being real, okay? I know you like you. All right, so listen. So this is your body fighting it off like it's the flu.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but I say my level of discomfort was about a 3 out of 10 because it didn't feel like the flu. It just felt like, okay, this is weird. I woke up the next morning. I was good.
You good?
Done.
Okay.
I was lifting weights the next day.
Okay.
So
Got
it was just, so I got my shot on Saturday. Saturday was cool. I did not feel well on Sunday. Monday, I was good. All right. My wife did not have the chills. She did not have the muscle aches. She did have an upset stomach and a sore arm. That was it.
Okay.
So when you get that second dose of Pfizer, they're gonna tell you the chances of you having some side effects are probable. Probable. But I felt like, do I like those symptoms? No. If I was watching this, would it make me pause? But I felt like if this is all I have to endure, and this is like a 3 out of a 10, to be safe from COVID, as wild as Atlanta, Georgia is, I'll take that every day of the week.
Definitely. I'm afraid, but I don't want to die. So
Oh
I'm
no.
I feel like I got a little bit more living to do. So
Oh, for
I'm not
sure.
gonna let COVID take me out or somebody else take me out for that matter.
And that's why the rates are going. I want people to understand that's why the rates are going down because people who are vaccinated are not showing up in the ER. People are not passing. So even if they contract COVID, they're able to have mild symptoms. They're able to be treated without coming into the hospital ICUs. For those who are not treated, you're playing Russian roulette. You don't know how your body is going to respond. You know, so that's why I'm telling people. People said I'm gonna wait. You've waited long enough. 25% of Georgia has gotten the first vaccine. 10% has gotten the second shot. That's enough people for you to see. No one's falling down. No one's passing. People are feeling good. And I would imagine, but I'll tell you at the same time, Tanika, the life expectancy for African Americans has dropped in 1 year due to COVID, 3.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, people are dying in droves.
Yeah.
And if you talk to family members, they'll tell you, I've lost 6 family members. I've lost 5. We had 10. We've had people had to quarantine. We've had family members be on oxygen. And there are a lot of people, and a lot of people don't post. And I can tell you this, Tanika, I won't say any names. I promise you probably 75% of Atlanta's trainers have had COVID.
Really?
Yeah, because they're in the gym, close proximity, not wearing a mask, and they don't advertise it, but they've had COVID. And those are some of the most fit people on the planet. That's evidence that there's no being too fit and not getting COVID. You have to mask up or be fully vaccinated.
Right. I'm noticing that people will advertise that they had COVID after they had COVID.
Yeah, well, first of all, they don't want to die, so they want to make sure. Let me focus. But yeah, and I'm glad that they do because you're able to see, wow, so and so, they're in better shape than I am. You know, wow, they just got finished running a marathon. Wow, that's a professional athlete. You know, they're coming out. Russell Westbrook, Jason Tatum, Freddie Freeman, Carl Anthony Towns. I mean, these are tier 1 athletes. You know, so if they can get it, then I know it's real. And so I appreciate those people that are sharing so that people know, hey, this is serious. This is real, and we have to protect ourselves. This is not the Tuskegee experiment. Everyone is getting vaccinated. This is something that has been tested. All your politicians have gotten it. The president of the United States has gotten it. Even dumb Donald Trump has gotten it. No, I'm telling you. So this is Mr. No Mask Man. They got
Right.
COVID. So if even he got it, that must tell you something that, hey, even these conspiracy theorists are still getting vaccinated because they know there's going to be limited supply of
Mhm.
vaccine. And I'm going to be honest, if Black folks and minorities don't want to get it, less votes. That's less votes.
Right.
And they don't care.
Definitely. Yes. Now, I got two more questions. One question is, so there are multiple variants of the vaccine. There's the Moderna, and then there's the Pfizer. I know you had the Pfizer. Have you heard any differences or has any of your
Yeah.
family members had a different?
Yeah, we all had Pfizer. A few people had Moderna. I don't know how they did. And Johnson and Johnson, which is the one-shot vaccine, just got approved and should come on the market. So I don't think you know which vaccine you're going to get until you get there.
Right.
But from what I understand and read, all of them are effective. But the Pfizer is supposed to be the most effective of the three as far as efficacy.
Got you.
So when
And
you look at the studies,
so when we talk about the one shot versus two shots, now I'm hearing some like mixed reviews, like, no, you should get both. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
well, I mean,
Johnson is trying to be efficient.
do what the doctors are telling you to do. So Johnson and Johnson was developed last, so they were able to, I guess, have a more effective dose that lasts longer. I don't know. You have to ask the CDC or ask your primary care physician, what the difference is. But if you're going to get Pfizer, get both shots. If you're going to get Moderna, get both shots because they both require, I believe, two doses. And then get them when they are scheduled so that you can do what the doctors recommend and what was normed to make sure that you're safe.
Definitely. Thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you for doing this. I'm excited. I know that I'm glad that you're getting it. I'm glad that people watching this, that they have questions, and I think that they can trust me. Like, he kept it real about those symptoms. And he talked about being on the fence at first. But once I saw that, hey, this is reverse racism, we're getting this last,
right?
When we should be first in line to get this. And what tipped me off to this was I saw Ed Gorton interview the head of the Black Nurses Association, Black Doctors Association, the head of the FDA, and a couple of other head of the National Institute of Mental Health and National Institute of Health. Most of them were brothers and sisters of color. They were all saying, when this vaccine comes out, please get it. Because what we're forecasting is based on our polls, the number of people, African Americans, Latinos, saying they're not going to get it. They're going to have an exponential spike in deaths while the rest of the nation is going down. And that's exactly what we see playing out because they're not vaccinating. We're not social distancing. And because we're talking about more impoverished areas, 6-7 people living together, people working in close proximity in plants and not masking up. And then just lack of, the brothers and sisters who say they wear a mask, but they do this, we
wear it now as an accessory. It's not for health purposes. We wear it. We wear the one that matches our outfit, and we wear it down below our chin so we can be cool.
All those gaiters don't work, and those bandanas. Anytime you can blow. So here's how you test. If you can blow through your mask and feel it with your hand, it's not going to protect you from COVID. Mm-hmm. That's why they're recommending the double mask because of the new variants. This thing is contagious. So like you can go to brunch. Tanika, we can go to brunch with 8 of our friends, right? And the chances of us, the 10 of us, eating brunch and no one getting COVID is almost slim to nil.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's why they're recommending that no gatherings of 10 or more. That's not just a random number. They're looking at the data and they're saying, so if I'm talking to you, Tanika, and then Tanika, you talk to someone, if I have COVID, I give it to you. And at that same brunch, you pass it to the person to your left. They pass it to the person to their left. And then that's how everyone is being contaminated by one person's breath, spread to another one. They automatically have it then, even though it shows up 3 days later. That scares me. That's too random for me. Here, take my arm, put the shot in there, and I'm lifting weights the next day. And then the second time, I'm asleep the next day, and then I'm good to go.
So after I get vaccinated, is it 100% that I can't get?
No. I haven't read one study that said that they're telling you to still. CDC just released information today about what we should be doing after we're vaccinated. Now, your chances of mortality, your chances of severe illness are dropped dramatically. Enough so that they are opening up stadiums and opening up people to come around. They feel like you're gonna be safe, but you still should be masking up. I would double mask, still have social distance, but just know that you have peace of mind that in the worst case scenario that you get COVID, that you are going to be protected because you have a vaccine, the same as they did with the Spanish flu. People forget that without a vaccine for the Spanish flu, we'd be no more as a people. People were dying in droves. They had the same fears, but people got it and they lived. But the ones who didn't and still didn't change their lifestyle, they suffer. And that's the thing I want people to realize is that COVID, we were talking about this before we got on, COVID's not going away. There is no post-COVID. COVID's going to be here like the flu. It is not the flu, but it's going to be here with us like the flu is never going away. And so we're going to have to get vaccinated, not only this year, but every year until COVID is contained. This may be for the rest of our lives. So what you've seen is that the government is going to open back up. Texas and Mississippi are already fully back open. So as every state follows suit, what are you going to do when you're around everyone? And not everyone's going to wear their mask. They're going to feel like, I don't have to anymore. They've dropped the mandates. And you're out there in the world and you're not vaccinated. You are playing Russian roulette with your life. And companies are going to start restricting you from coming into the corporate office if you're not vaccinated. So it's cool you don't want to get it, but you don't have the right to be around other people in the office and spread it. You're not going to be able to fly internationally. You're going to have to show your not right now you have to show your COVID testing, but you're going to show your vaccination card. It's going to be on record. I believe that they'll have it in there. You have to scan your eyes at the airport. I believe by the time we really get back in, they'll know who's vaccinated, and you won't be allowed to fly because you could potentially contaminate everyone else. I know that's controversial because there's some religious reasons. I know the Nation of Islam does not believe in vaccinations of any shape, form, or fashion. That's going to create a lot of people that don't believe in vaccinations. It's going to be a controversy. All right, but I'm gonna be on the safe side, regardless of what y'all do. For me and my house, we're gonna be vaccinated.
That's a word for you.
And I feel fine.
Yes, I like that.
Good luck. I'm gonna check on you. I'm gonna check on you on Wednesday.
Yes.
You're gonna be working out. You're gonna be good to go.
I don't know about Wednesday. I'm gonna try if I can.
Your first shot, nothing. First shot, it's a sore arm later when you go to sleep. If that, you'll be good. It's that second shot. You might want to take a nap, sister girl.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
Take care. All right, God bless.
God bless.